Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Monica here with 22 Social. It's March 24th, 2020. How's everyone doing? Staying home on lockdown. It's just me today. You guys are keeping Renee busy with those free sessions he gave out, so that's pretty awesome. So I thought today would be a good day for me to do the live app audits. These have been pretty popular. This is something I do regularly in my own membership, but periodically I do them in here, and we haven't really got into a regular schedule, but I think just because they're so popular, we might do these like quarterly or something like that. I think it'd be nice if I could give a little bit more notice when I'm going to do them. So we've kind of been doing them on the fly. And let me know what you guys think about that. I think that'd be a good idea. So I hope everyone is well. Crazy times, right? So let me know how you're adjusting to all that, what life is like for you. And of course, also let me know about what you want help with your apps. So I'll talk a little bit about how that's going to, how that works, because I'm going to need you to give me some information. But first, I just want to make sure that everyone is here in the right place. I'm going to do my regular intro. And then I'll switch back over to this and we can do some auditing and app reviews and things like that. So hopefully sound and picture is coming through. You should be seeing the presentation because I did a full share on the slide, so I don't have the camera up. But yeah, so far sounds good, not hearing anything else. So let's make sure we've got, you're in the right place and you are you fall into our little, description here of what a dream builder is and making sure that you're in the right place, and we'll jump into these audits. This is for you. So if any of these apply, we want you to keep on watching. Number one, you're passionate, not just about your products and services, but also the people that you help by providing those products and services, and you're truly doing what you love. You want to build this online. So you want to create an online business earning you tens of thousands of dollars or more monthly recurring, that's going to allow you to live a desired lifestyle, a dream lifestyle, so that you can ultimately stop trading time for money. And you want to do this with people, right? You could be an introvert like me, which the situation that we're in this time of year, or this during what's going on right now, fits well for me, but I know a lot of people are freaking out on not having that social interaction. But this is this platform, and then what we use here and running this online business is built on a social platform. So you want to be able to use that and your business and your expertise to build meaningful relationships that could eventually lead to a community that's going to grow your business on social platforms like Facebook, and really scale your business so that you can reach more people on that level, reach more, kind of go into that ripple effect where the people you're helping, they're reaching out to more people. And so you're exponentially reaching more people, right? You're extending yourself out and really scaling that business. And finally, you're willing to put in the time and work. So you want to create this business so that it will have a lasting impact. It will give you lasting income, lifestyle fulfillment, and that takes time and effort to see that long-term success. As long as you understand that and you're willing to do that, you are definitely in the right place. So in order to achieve those goals and to do these things, you're going to need some type of plan. We offer a blueprint. We call it the Dream Builder Blueprint. That's kind of a set of building blocks, a guide towards which milestones to reach, and let you know that you're on the right path, to keep you on the right path, and get you where you want to be the quickest way possible, but doing it in a way that works best, right? That will help you achieve those goals. So start with your dream. What is your dream? That's kind of at the bottom of this, as we're growing up and building on the main big chunk of this is what your dream is. What is that dream lifestyle? How do you picture it? What are you doing? And what's the business that's going to fund that so that you can have that lifestyle? Do you want to be able to travel and work from anywhere? Do you want to be able to not have to leave the home and, work in your PJs? What is it that you really thrive on and you want to do, and building a business around that? So really start thinking about, how many income streams that involves, how many hours a day you work, or which days of the week you work, or how you're working, right? And then in this business that's building, that's going to fund your dream lifestyle, what is the product, the expertise? What is that thing that you offer and can deliver, promise, right? Promise to deliver, commit to deliver to an ideal client, an ideal recipient of the transformation you offer, the help you offer, the person who is trying to achieve a goal, get from point A to point B, following your method or using your tool or your service, whatever that may be. Who is that person? Who is it that you can really help and make an impact on? And then what is it that you're going to deliver? What can you promise, right? What's in line with what your marketing style is, or your unique, your abilities or your enjoyments, your, what you find pleasurable. Because if you don't like writing, then blogging is probably not going to be your best thing, because you're not going to stick with it. You're not going to be consistent. If you don't like being on camera, or you don't want to, some people want to be on camera and want to get over that fear. And other people are just like, I don't want to do that. Figuring out what that is, and maybe like an on-camera live stream is not the way you're going to deliver it, but there's so many ways to be able to do that. So if you don't like it, you're not going to be able to commit to it. So find something that you enjoy, and then reach out to a group of people. It could be a very small group, a handful of people that are trusting prospects, where you invite them to take you up on your offer, because they need the results that you can offer them. So whether that be to letting them know about your one-on-one consults, or a particular digital product you have, whether that's an ebook or a video course or something, or a membership where you can reach out and say, I think this would be really good for you because here's what we solve in there, and I know that you need help with that, or I believe that you can see results, and reach out to people like that. So think about who those people are and just reach out to a few. In doing this, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to get some great feedback, and that's what's going to help you move on to the next step. So, even if you're just doing like a trial membership or some type of beta launch for a course or something, but it'll let you know, from this interaction, is your pricing correct? Is the delivery correct? Could this use more products? Are my core products correct? Is the educational piece there? Those kinds of things. You'll learn this, and you won't know this until you actually start selling, delivering, inviting, and offering your products. So definitely don't skip that before you go into creating systems and things like that, because some people like to jump to the nurture stage, where they're consistent, what am I going to blog about? What's going to be my content? What's my marketing? What kind of ads am I going to run? What am I going to, setting up a whole email series or things like that. Don't build into any of that until you've actually started inviting people to take you up on your offer, because you'll learn what is needed and what people value. And that's how you can nurture a community. You can nurture prospects that maybe just taken up on some free offers and haven't really taken the plunge yet to book with you or join your membership, purchase your course. And also those who have done that and need to be continued, you need to continue to deliver value and really nurture them in a way that they thrive and they start bringing you referral business. So you'll learn how to create those systems and do more with less work by, taking that first step of inviting. And then you can really jump into, nurturing people and helping them after they've tried your offer, your solution, and really finding a way that allows you to, you have something that works, something that's systematic. Because once you have something that's working like a well-oiled machine, people are willing to pay you for it. It's delivered in a systematic way, then you can begin attracting more business. That's when you can add new, marketing ideas or strategies. You'll know like what's the best giveaway. What should I give away to generate more leads, right? A lead generation strategy. Your type of analytics. What should I be looking for? What am I should be running? Then you can ask your customers to refer you business, reward them for doing so. And you'll know exactly what the best reward is for that, because you'll know what the demands are, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people want to jump straight to this stage without, taking the steps and going through the building blocks. But you'll need that to create a really strong foundation to make it work. So follow the blueprint and you'll be able to make money along the way while you're building your long-term dream. So today, with that, we're going to go over, I call them app audits. So it's basically, I'm just going to review what your app looks like. You give me the link, right? Give me the smart link. And what I would recommend, in the past, what I've said is just comment here, but I can't, in the comment stream as the person running it, when I'm running it on a page, it's a little bit different. I can't copy and paste the comments. So I actually have to like memorize. And so I'm asking you to give me like the permanent smart link, and it's a bunch of jumbled letters and numbers. And that's, is it a 0? Is it an O? It's not a simple copy paste. So I think I'm going to up my slides the next time I do this, instead of asking for you to comment with that, is to, if you can message the page. I won't say message me, because then it'll get stuck if we're not friends on Facebook. If you message the 22 Social page, I can see it in there, and then I can get to your app easily. But what I'll need is that smart link. And if you don't know what's a smart link, where's my smart link? I'll show you in just a few minutes here, a few seconds. Add me as a secondary manager. Thanks, Lynn. I see that. If you can post that, if you message the page with that, I'll take that. I'll look there, but if not, I can probably, that's not a pretty long one, so I can copy and paste yours. Lynn just gave me her app smart link. Also add me as a secondary manager. That lets me get into the back end and do some editing if I need to. Lots of times I'll go in and say, this is what you should do. This is how you do it. And unless you give me the go ahead, I won't make those changes. Like I won't save them, but you can go in and then make them yourselves. And if it's just a review and you're not looking for something specific, some people are like, is my CRM connected correctly or something? But if it's just a general, like, can you just look it over and tell me how it's doing? I won't know how it's doing if I don't know what your goal is. Like, what is it you're trying to do? Get people to sign up for a membership? Or because then I'll know, oh, okay, well, you have it set up as a one-time. You don't have it set up as a, recurring. So just tell me a little bit more so I know that you're set up to achieve the goals that you're looking for. All right. And then, so if you don't know what your smart link is, or where to find it, go to the top of your app when you go to it on the dashboard. What you'll want to do is click on the little link icon that you see there, and this little window will pop up. And just give me the permanent smart link. Just copy any of the Vanity will work too. I'm just getting the habit of using the permanent. I usually like to recommend that, but for what we're doing today, either way, Vanity or smart link or permanent smart link, but copy that smart link and then message the 22 Social page with that. I'll be able to look in there and I can copy it. You can also comment with it. It's just taking me a little bit longer I'd have to retype it out. If you can't get to your app and you're like, I don't know where that dashboard is, I can't even get to my app. The way you get to your app is to go into your dashboard, 22s.com/account. That will automatically land you on the My Apps tab. So from there, when you go in, as long as you're logged into Facebook, you'll be there on the My Apps tab. And then you can look for your app listed in the list below there. So they'll all be grouped together by page. If you have apps installed on different pages, then go to that page. And when you click on the little link icon next to the app that you're looking for, that you want me to review, that same window pops up. So then you'll be able to then copy the smart link, a permanent smart link or Vanity smart link right there from that same window. Okay. All right. So that's the same process, just a different way to get there. And then you're going to need to make me a secondary manager. And so the way you do that, and you can do this from your app dashboard or anywhere else, is to click on the little manage admins. It's a little person icon at the top. It's like an avatar of a person. When you click on that, this box will pop up and you want to type in my ID number. I'm going to actually add that as a comment here on the feed. So when this screen's not up, anyone who's maybe joining us late can see that. Let me put that in there. That's my ID, 45927. So just put that in there and save it. And then I'll be able to access. And this is, again, this can also be found under My Apps. If you're like, I don't know, can't find my app, I don't know where that is. Under My Apps, same thing. Just click on the little person icon next to the app you want. And same deal. It'll pop up with a little secondary manager window where you put in your, put in my number. All right. All right, let me take a look. I'm going to start with you, Lynn, because you have, let me turn this over. Is it the right place up here? Let me leave it here so I have these up. So anyone joining us, you can do that. Let me come back over to you, Lynn. And I'm going to pull yours up and then I'll just screen share with that. Boy, this is pretty slow here. I'm trying to grab this here. I'm going into the inbox just to see if you also sent it there, because then I can just grab it. And I'm not seeing it there. Okay. Then let me type it in. 023. I'm going to assume that's LLQ. Sometimes I can't tell if that's an I or an L, but let me just double check. Now we got to figure out another way to do this, because I learned that the last couple times. I'm like, I can't copy and paste 023 LLQ. Unless it's I's, IIQ. Project Malaysia, I don't think that's you. Yeah, so if you can, let me put this in here, 023. Try this one. Okay, I think I found you. All right, I'm going to move this over here. All right, that looks like your picture. So let's see. It's a lead page for a webinar. Okay. All right. So let me know if you have a CRM that you want this to go to and set up. I'll check that in a little bit if you do, but let's look at the front. So first thing I like to check is the app published, which it is. And then let's look at the front. So this is your gate, and this is where you tell them, you put in your heading and all of that, and then where they log in. And you get to the gate by switching to gate from up here. And then the main content is what they see once they are in, okay? So they're not gonna see this until they click this. So I don't know if you want to maybe change an image here or update the branding. It looks like you used a template. That's totally fine. So it'll just, but this doesn't really tell too much what they're getting, what they're signing up for, other than, it's how to set up your online offering. If that's the name of it, maybe put that over here back on the AppGate side. Or if this is it here, maybe make that a little bit bigger. And if you want, you can add an image here if you have one. If not, this will work. Technically, it is set up correctly on that side. So when they click on your button here, let's just make sure it's set up as a free lead gate, which it is, lead free. Let me see if you have CRM. So MailChimp is connected, but there's no list. So my first question to you on that is that what you intended? So up here under SRM on the main dashboard at the top, that's where you're going to then see these three options right here. And that's CRM is your like MailChimp, right? What you use. So I'm going to click on that. And you've got your API key and you've got it set up correctly. So the other thing, so these people are not actually being added to your MailChimp list. So if you have in MailChimp like a workflow that says, thanks for signing up for the webinar, and then you're going to send out emails like reminders before you go live, or an email letting them know the replay's up to send them back to watch it, all of that, those people are not being added to your MailChimp list until you come over here. And under your button settings, you have it set up as the right thing. Your button text, your subtext, all that's optional. But your CRM settings, it'll tell you you've connected it, but now you need to put your list ID in here. So go into MailChimp and get your list ID. And I happen to use MailChimp, so let me see if I could just pull up. Let's see. This might take me to log in here. And I just want to go to like the main login page. Not all that. So it doesn't end me up on all right, so let me log in. And I'm just going to pick like a random client so I can show you when you go in. Under audience, if you go to like view audience, so view all your audiences, it's under the audience tab up here. View all of your audiences and then figure out which list it is. So create a list that's like webinar registrations, right? Something like that. And then over here under settings, you'll be able to see the settings for that list. And that's where your list ID is. So list ID is going to be, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, it's right here at the bottom. It's also under name and defaults, which if you go to settings and then name and defaults here or here, that will also give you the list. So there's two ways to get it. It's right here. It's that same number. So see how that says 430, whatever. That's your audience ID. It used to be called list ID because MailChimp changed the way they call things. But if I go back one, that same number is right down here too, just on the settings for the list. So go to your list, choose your list and go to settings for the list. And then put that number here. Then people will be automatically added to that list and you'll be able to email them. And if you have a like automation set up to automatically send them, like when someone joins this list, send this email, then it'll automatically happen when they join the list, because putting that ID in here will automatically add all of these people to your MailChimp list. So these people. Now, if you did it today, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 7 people will not be on there. You'll have to manually, so you can do like export here and it'll give you like a CSV file and you can import those in to MailChimp because you connected it after the fact. But anyone going forward from today going forward, they will automatically get added and it's instant. You don't have to do anything. All right, so let me hide this really quick. Just so that you guys can see a little bit more. Anyone else wants their app reviewed, message the 22 Social page with your smart link. That would be the easiest way for me to get to it. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, I also want to make sure is that people always forget this. I forget it. The preview image. So let me click on that. You are awesome. Okay, so you already set up your image and put this in here. So perfect. You're good. That means, so for anyone who wasn't sure, what that means is when I share this on Facebook or I copy it, let me make this, well, I guess it's full screen's fine, but I didn't want to have to do all that. So this little share thing, like when I share on Facebook and I want to say something like, hey guys, check out this awesome webinar, right? And then I'm going to do this. I'm reviewing. And I'm just going to make sure I spell your name correctly. Lynn, without the E. All right. So I'm actually going to share that in the, no, that's not what I want. Share it in a group. Nope. Hold on a second. Let me copy this and go here because I want to actually put it in the group. And pull up my little notepad over here because I want to do something else just really quick and make sure that I don't have to keep copying and pasting. Oh, it's popping up really big. It's my second monitor, has a different graphics card. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably just grab this permanent. I like doing that. All right, and then I'm just going to add that here. You shouldn't need this, but I always like to add it in the front anyway. All right, so now I could either just share it and then choose where I want it to go, or I could actually go to like a group and share it. Let me go into the Dream Builders group here. Come on, buddy. Come on over. And pop this over like in a tab next to it. All righty. And so if I wanted to put that in here like this, it will fetch a preview based on what you put in there. So because you set up your image correctly up here under the little preview, Facebook share details, you added your image, you uploaded, you have a nice title and a description, you get to see a little preview. That's what shows up whenever I share this link. And I can actually back out this URL here. It doesn't even have to be there once the picture shows up. And I can hit post. So I think I did this a couple weeks back when I did someone else's app, and then I shared it in the group. So See, and I'll probably just remove it just because it's kind of crazy when I'm always adding them in there. People are like, what's going on? But, I'm doing it live. So, all right. So good. So you're set up correctly as far as your gate type and that your app is published and your gate's enabled. Your CRM is connected, but the actual list is not connected to the button. So you've connected it correctly up here to the app. Now you just need to tell it which list ID do recipients get added to. And then do you have a Facebook group set up for this? No Facebook group. Okay, then there's nothing to check there. Let me switch over to the main content. Once they're in, they will see this. And if your webinar is coming up or your live hangout or whatever you're going to call it, if that's the date, so at 11 a.m., if you're going to do it twice, sometimes adding a countdown timer is nice. So if you want, you could do that. I would do content, this orange content button that'll open up all of the editing sections, and maybe add a countdown timer here. And you can put it on top or on bottom. So you've got the video and then you've got like a little shadow image underneath it. I think that was part of the template. If you want to add a timer, you can make it, leave it fixed dates and just pick, let's jump over to the correct year. Let's see, there we go. And then let's pick the 25th and Central Time. So I would do 11. Mine's going to default to my time zone, but let's make it yours. So Central is, here we go, US Central. Now, message is what you can have it say on top, and then the bottom is what is shown after it expires if you want. That's optional, but I'm just going to leave them blank, and I'm going to hit preview. Oh, I made it PM. Hold on. I just caught that. But see how it's got a little countdown timer there? So it lets people know that you'll be live soon. Let me make that AM. And then you could do two. You could do another one here and stack two if you want to do the two different ones. And then I would name them. I'd say, live webinar number 1, and I would write that in here, starts in, so live webinar. And I'm not going to save this in here so you can change, you don't have to be stuck with this, but starts in ... Actually, or our first live webinar starts in whatever you want to call it, right? And then it'll say like that above, like right above the top. And then if you wanted to do a second one, you could do that as well, timer. And what I would do, if it was me, I'd do a few little different things differently, but let's pick your date and time. Same day, I'm assuming, and then you're doing it at 8 p.m. And I need to pick Central. If it were me, I wouldn't do two. I would just say our next live webinar starts in and just leave it there and then do the next one after. So the way I would set it up is, and I would probably put it on top, is I would bring this. If you drag this over, this is the order that they show up on top of the video. You could do that. And what I would just say is live webinar, maybe next live webinar starts in, ooh, that should be an S. And say the same thing on both. 2 different dates, right? This, or same date, but this one's on 8 p.m. and this one's at 11 a.m. Let me just hit preview. That'll kind of capture my changes, but I'm going to go right back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide the second one. And what you could do is you could just, after this one's over, you just come back and change the date, but I'm lazy, so I like to set it all up ahead of time. I'm just going to hide that. I'm going to hit preview, and I'm going to leave it like that. And then when this webinar's over, I'm going to come back in, And then what I'll do is I'll just hide the first one and show the second one because I already made it. The date's already in there. I will just say hide. And then this one, I'll just pick timer, and everything that was in there is still there. It's still saved. Instead of hiding it, I'm bringing it back up. And then I would do this and then save my app for the next one, right? So it still says the next one starts in, but you can pick which one you turn on and which one you turn off because, you have them both in there. You can just hide them. So I'm going to go ahead and just hide them both, and I will save that for you in case you want to use them. Let me hit save changes. When you go back into this app, when you get to this section here, the featured area under media, those first two spots are hidden. But if you open them up, Lynn, you'll see that those countdown timers are both in there. Okay, you'll just have to select timer, which is under the last section, other timer, and it'll show it to you. And you can make any changes you want. But that's the only really thing that I probably would add here. And then they can comment here. If you let me know if you're doing this live, like through Hangouts on Air. Let me see how you set this up. Or if it's like an evergreen webinar, if it's like live. So what you could do is you could go on in YouTube and set it up to be like coming soon, right? And set it up, and then it'll show up here if that's how you're doing it. I'm not quite sure what system you're using, or if this is just going to be the replay of it. For a long time, I was using YouTube Live until they changed all that in August of last year. So now I use StreamYard for everything, and I do connect to YouTube. So maybe you could do that. In StreamYard, I say I'm going to stream to YouTube, and I set it all up in there, and it'll give me at the end, it'll tell me, here's your YouTube number, your ID. And that's what I come back and I would put in here, and it will show like a countdown of, coming soon. So I don't have any set up right now that I could show you, but let me make sure I didn't make any changes that need to be saved. But that's a whole nother thing, right? I'm just checking to make sure it's set up correctly. I actually don't know, Lynn, how you're doing your webinar, if it's evergreen, or if you even have a registration process. But everything else looks good. So let me know if there was anything else you had questions on, or, hey, Tracy, if you wanted me to look at. But if anyone else wants me to look at their apps here, let me bring this back up. I know that says comment with the smart link, which you could, but if you could message the 22 Social page, which I'm going to take a look right now to make sure if there's been any that have come in. Let me pull this up. Shelly, if that's you, let me make sure. Yep. Cool. Awesome. I am looking at it right now. I'm going to pull this over. Thank you. All right, Shelly, so you're next. So let me know, Lynn, if if you had any other questions, if that did it for you. Hopefully that helps. I did save those timers in there. So let me bring this back over here. And I'm going to kind of close some of these things down because otherwise they'll take up a lot of space. I'll leave this up in case I want to do yours too. All right. Let's see. What was that comment? I just saw that comment pop up in the corner there. Mentioned you. There you go. All right. Cool. Yeah, I got it. Yay. All right. So let's look over here and then just tell me, because I can see your comments here on the stream over on my other side. Tell me here, commenting live on the feed, what it is you're looking for. I'm going to look it over in the meantime. I would probably not do this just because for a long time that button was one color. It's now blue. Actually, it's not even green anymore. I would just say maybe click the join button. Oh, wait a minute. You said below here. So you do have a green button. Okay. Never mind. I thought you were saying like click the join button. For a long time, the button in the group was a certain color. And then like years later, they changed it. So we all had to update our thing. You're talking about down here. It's just hard to see. I would probably pick a different green just to be a little bit because that's really hard to read, or highlight it in green. So you could do this and change the color. So this first one is text color to like green, right? Even though that's not really the green color that it is down here, is it? That's close enough, right? Or you could leave it, maybe make that white and then make the background like the green that you want. That might be a little bit weird, but let's see. Yeah, that doesn't even look nice. But you can custom your colors, so you can pick a different, if you know, like your branding color. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick, let me go back in here, edit the text. And let's just make it whatever color. Let's pick a different one. Something maybe a little bit less, I know you want it to look like the actual button color, but pick something in here. Anyway, you can play with whatever options. You can kind of look around. Let's see. Yeah, the text color didn't come out right on there. Anyway, that would be one thing, but I haven't even looked at all the technical stuff. So let me look at that, and then again, comment and let me know what it is you actually particularly want to do with this, and I'll let you know that you're set up correctly to do it. All right. So just pick a different color that's a little bit less in your face, and then I'm just going to turn off the background. All right, that's a little bit better than what it was. That's okay, Lynn. I did go over your app. I went over a few things and some pointers. So definitely check the replay. I see your comment here that you had to step away. And Shelly, maybe you're not commenting. Let me come back to see where you might be commenting. Comment on the actual live feed, not this where I shared. So like click here on the video. You're actually going to go to it, which I'm actually live. Where am I? I'm not live here. I'm not in the group. I'm live on 22 Socials page. So when you click on this button here to go to watch it live, let me stop this sound. Come on. All right. That's not working for you either. Go to the page. And then you'll be able to come over here and see that. All right. Let me go back. And go back. Let me just close out of this tab because I don't want it to be slowing me down. And I'll be back over here. And let me look at the front. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. Definitely check the replay. I went over a few things. How do you get your group to return to the app for more content? You need to send them. Yes, Shelly, here. That's a good question. So in your app, which I've closed, but let me see if I can pull it back up really quick. And I did Control-Shift-T if anybody ever wanted to know how to pull up a closed tab. I'll pop this over here while I'm waiting on. So what I would do, I would get your link, your smart link, or you can create a vanity link if you want, but whatever, and post this in your group and let them know. So that's what I would, and I don't know how much you saw, Lynn, but I talked about setting up your MailChimp correctly so that they get the reminder emails and all that. That's the link. I would send them back here because if they forward that email to anyone or they share that link outside the group, when you share your smart link, people who have not yet registered will come here to register, but people who have, as long as they're logged into Facebook, they're going to see this side. So it tells you up here that this is only visible for people who've registered, and this is what people will see if they haven't registered yet, right? So depending on who they are, if they're on your SRM list or not, these people in here, the 7 people in your SRM, when they click that link, or whoever these people are, will always see the side that has what's going on here. Anyone who's not on that list or doesn't have access yet will see the other side. Okay, so always use the smart link. Put that like in your announcements. If you have a welcome guide in your Facebook group. I did not see that your app was connected to your group, so I don't know if you have a group for this, but let me know if that's what you wanted to do. All right, so I'm offering, let's look at this. a free study group for psychologists to study for their licensing exam. I'm also offering coaching. Okay. So the group and the coaching are two different apps. I'm going to assume, let me just save changes. The only change I made, Shelly, was your on this side, I changed the color of this button. So if you want to change it back, then change it back. All right. So let's first look at how this is set up. This is set up as a free lead magnet. CRM settings, your MailChimp, and you have your list ID. So great, you've gotten that. This is the part that you were missing, Lynn. And I went over that. And then, okay, so you've got a free group and the subscription on the same app. I would probably do them as different apps, only because if you're going to use the 22 Social Connect Chrome extension that tells you like green means they're access and they don't, it's pulling from this SRM. So this is a single SRM that is everyone who's paid or who's gone through your gate. But if they're all going to be together like the same thing, like this person's free, this person's paid. And you're offering them the same group, whether they've paid or not, and then that's okay. But I don't think that's usually the case. Most people have two different things. So I would make this, let's see what you're selling here. Is this, you're joining the group. And then what's the other button? I never thought that you could do, I never thought to think, do they offer the two different, each button can have its own group? I don't think so. No, the group that you sync to your app is done under advanced settings. And it means that anyone who has access to this app, who is in ESRM, gets to go to this group. And I would take this out. I wouldn't put source ID on the end. Let me just copy that and set it aside for you in case you needed that for whatever reason. I can send it to you after we're done, but generally you don't want that over here because that's not your group link. Your group link ends with the last number in the ID. Let me just preview and save that. Let me know if you want that link with the stuff on the end. I did copy it. I'll send it to you. And then let me go back in there because I saw something else that was a little bit just concerning. If you check this box, what that means is they are not going to see your main content. They're going to go straight to the group. So let me check again what your message said. Please click continue. Click the join button to get access. Okay, so they're going to see this. They're going to read all this, and then they're going to pick. They're going to click. Either one of these is going to send them to the group because you only have one group tied to one app. So if these are two different things, if these are two different groups, this needs to be two different apps. That's number one. But let's assume this is for the paid. When they click this, they're going to be sent to pay. And then after they pay, normally what happens is people then have access. They see this, like PayPal or Stripe, wherever you pay, automatically spits you back over here and it says welcome, and it'll have their name, tells them everything, and gives them instructions. If you have that box checked, the one I just mentioned, or on your Facebook group settings, after they pay, they do not come here. They go to the group. So let me show you where that is. This is where you're sending people after they pay. So they never see this unless somehow either in a welcome email series or once they get to the group, if you have like a unit set up where they're on unit 1, or you have an announcement post, or you're individually tagging them and saying, hey, thanks for joining. Now go back over here for XYZ. That's the only way they'll get back here. So if you don't have content here and you don't need all this, the only reason you've set this up is because you want them to get into the group, then you don't even need this whole process here. And then don't worry about it. Then you're set up fine. Just know that because you have this set up under advanced settings on the gate, over here where it says group access, because you have this checked, after they pay, this is where they go. They're not going to see the main content side of here. If you uncheck this, then that means after they pay, they get here. And then from here, they then have to request to join the group. So they'll never see these instructions right after payment, the way you have it set up. But some people, very rarely, but there are some people who that's how they want it set up, and that was their intention. So I'm just letting you know that that's what that is here. All right, so yes, the paid people would then be put in a different group. Yeah, so this, whatever group is connected here under AppGate, advanced settings, and then group access, whatever's set up here, this is what you're telling the whole app, because this is not the settings for that particular button. It's for the entire app, for the SRM of this app. Anyone who goes through and has access, who's green, should be in this group. And so the system's saying that that person should have access to the group because they've paid. So I would create a different one for your other group. And if you want to send people who've paid to the free group, then you just add an extra button, right? So go in here and say, you've got them paid here. They've come in. Congratulations, you've paid. I probably wouldn't have so many pictures like this unless you want to it takes them forever to find this. That's a lot to have to scroll through just to get to the button. But if you, what you could do is then add a second button, and let's just for giggles, let's take a couple of these out. I'm just going to hide the images just so that it's, so I can show you what I mean. We could always put them back after. I'm just going to hide them. This doesn't delete them. But let's say we have that, right? So we've got that, and then you've got your buttons. I would say, so on this one, I would put URL, and then the URL for this will be the smart link for your other app for the free group. And this will say, check out our free community, right? Join the free community too, right? Maybe because since they've paid, if they want to go in there, this is what I'm also doing. And then the link here should not be to the group. It should be to the smart link that you've set up that's attached to that group, because then they'll go to the gate, they'll learn what the group is all about. They'll click, yes, I want to be part of it. They'll go through your SRM of your free group app, and then they'll be taken, then you'll have the same kind of instructions. It's not going to let me put it in there without the link, but you'll have the same kind of instructions on that one that says, welcome to the free group, blah, 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 and all of their instructions. And then you can have another button that says, if you'd like more help, or you'd like whatever, you're selling, join this group. This is where, and it's only $49 or whatever. You would have an upsell to that one on the other one. And you just have a button. And what I would always put behind the buttons are the smart links of the apps, each app, not the group, because you don't want them to go to the group and then request to join and not even know that there's a whole process of setting up and getting in your, registering, get on MailChimp. You want them to do that, and they don't know that that even exists if you don't send them to a nice little sales page. So create another app like this, but for the free group, and then whatever that smart link is for that, send them there. And then let me take a look over here. Everyone goes in the free group, and I would create a separate group. Okay, so I'm reading the rest of your. Okay, so what I would do is set up a free group. So you're going to need to have here's when you talk about your free group, you'll have a smart link for that and say, hey, go here, check this out, and send everybody there. And then in that group, you're going to be maybe posting in there, talking to people, saying, hey, this is what we do, blah, blah. If you're ready to join the Mindful EPP Journey membership, go here now. It's only XYZ dollars, whatever. And then you're going to post links to the paid group, to the paid app, right? To the sales page. You're going to post links to this in that other group. And so in your free group, people will be joining, they'll be getting free content. And then you'll be talking about this paid group in there and sending them to this page where they can learn about this thing. I would not do, so these are two separate apps. I think that's clear for you now. I was going somewhere else before that. Oh, I wanted to kind of set this up. Let's look over here. What I would do, let me go ahead and hit save changes. I will unhide your images in just a minute. I'm going to go to layouts, and I'm going to pick just a different layout. Maybe I'll just pick this one. It just gives me one extra area below. Let me hit save. It makes it really big, but let me just refresh. Okay, so what that does is it adds a second section below, okay? And so the second section is where maybe you could put some images. Let me go back in here, media. And since you already had them in here, I'm just going to show them all again just so I can get the images. See, they're still here, even though I've saved. Once you hide, you can kind of hide stuff and then show it again. Let me move this thing out of the way. There we go. All right, so then what I would do is I would just copy these where that little notebook would come in handy. Fortunately, they don't let us drag and drop. I have requested that. Hopefully it'll come up soon as an option. But I'll just do those three. I'm not going to do them all. So let me hit cancel because it's not going to save those changes. Put that over here. So those three images. And then on this side, and you could always just upload them yourself again, but I don't have those images, so I had to go in here and do this. And actually, let's switch this to an image. And let me put them in the right order. All right, first one. But hopefully you get the hang of what I'm doing here. I'm not going to do all three. I mean, all four. I'll just do the three. You could do them all if you needed to. Since we already have the links, I don't have to upload them. I've already uploaded them once, and this link just takes the link for that image no matter where I put it. So let's preview that. If you wanted to still have those images in here, you could. You would just have them a little bit lower and maybe make this say something else, right? I'm just going to delete it for now, but you could put, because there has to be it'll just be like a blank line though up here. So you may want to say something. Oh, I guess it does get rid of it a little bit. Okay. So now if I hit save changes, and let me close this view. This is what it looks like. So the button's here right away, and then you can add all of your images below if you wanted to. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to your original layout that you had. Let me hit save. Okay. Refresh it. I'm going to put everything back the way I had it, okay? But I'm not deleting anything. All you have to do is unhide it. So I'm going to now unhide your images, bring them all back, because I don't want to assume that that's what you want to do. I just wanted to show you and anyone else who may be watching how to do this, that it is possible if they want. These images do not disappear unless you replace them with another image. But if I wanted to switch this to, let's say, a countdown timer, and I created that and saved it, but then I switched it back to an image, the image is still going to be there. So whatever you put in here stays in here unless you replace it with a media of the same type. So if I upload another image, it will replace this image. Let me hit preview. And then your buttons, I'm just going to hide the other one. This one, I'm just going to say none. It's still, what I wrote in there is still there, but I'm taking it off. And now it looks back like the way you had it before I did anything to it, okay? So let me hit save now. If you want to do, let's say, for example, you want to do exactly what I showed you, then all you need to do is go to layouts and pick the layout that matches, which was this one. It's the featured area plus another one, so it's just basically doubles. And when you do that, did I save it already? Yeah, I hit save, right? So when you come in and do that, everything that I had in there before should still be there when you choose that layout. Let me refresh. Oh, cancel. Let me hit save and then refresh. And this is really good for people who are wanting to do something, but they're not quite ready to show the rest of it, but they want to work on it. So if you had more you wanted to include in this members area, maybe you had other sections, maybe you had more than this. You wanted to do a bunch of sections or a bunch of columns and things like that. You could build those out and create them and then switch it back to this first one after. So for example, let's say you wanted to do something like this. I'm going to hit OK, refresh. And now the layout has all these other like sections down here, columns and things, right? If you wanted to fill all this in and work on it, but not publish it yet, with those changes, you could do that. Like you could start doing all of this in the meantime, just leave it as a capture, which is the very first one. Hit save changes. Okay, and then work on the rest of your app, change the layout, go back, work on other sections, and save them, but then switch it back to that first layout until you're ready, until you're done with all of that. And then once it's ready, you can undo it. So they'll still stay there. Any changes you've made and other layouts will stay that. Just don't switch to a different template, whatever you do. Templates are kind of hidden. They're in here, so and it'll warn you. But layouts is not the same thing. Layouts is just, it keeps all of your text and your images and your everything you've done. It just changes the layout. If you go to templates, which is this other one here, which I don't even like mentioning it because it messes people up. If you pick a template after you've done all this, it will wipe everything clean and give you like a clean slate of the template you chose. So that's only useful in the very beginning before you've done anything. If you want to start from something and then from that build on it. But once you've got something built, don't choose template again unless you want to start over from scratch. But layouts, you can pick any layout you want and just kind of play around to see how that looks. All right. Let's see, what does this say? I like how you separate the image and put them below. So that was just, it's on page 2. I might want to do like, well, that's going to get into like graphics. It was this one here, featured +1. If it were me, I would create these images as in little boxes, like as its own separate image, and then upload that as like all 4 images in one square. That would require a different type of image. But if you've got them stacked like this, but you just want them somewhere else, or you want to put the button in between, you have to move them into the next section down. But yeah, okay. Let me check again your preview. I don't think we did that. Okay, good. This is one a lot of people forget. I forget it a lot too. And you guys we're 2 for 2 on these. So yay. You've got a nice image there. So that means when I share this, so when I grab this and I do that same like thing that I did over here, I will put that in, when I share that somewhere, that's what it'll look like. So let me go into the Dream Builder group and I'll do the same thing here so you can see what that looks like. And so everyone can kind of get the idea of, I assume people know this, but I don't want to also assume that you know when you share something. And it doesn't have to be in a group. Anywhere you share a link. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, there it is. Let me just delete that link because you don't need the link. You could leave it in there, but yeah, it looks really pretty. And then you can post. And then that's what that looks like in a group or in a newsfeed or whatever. So those are the kinds of things that people forget a lot. And Lynn and Shelly did really good and did not forget to do that part. Let's look one more time. We do a couple more checks on some other things. You had your CRM I believe you said was MailChimp, and you had that set up. But you'll want to, again, make this 2 different apps. So this should be the list for your free group members, and then make another list for your paid members. 2 lists, 2 apps, 2 groups. That's if the paid one has a group. I believe they both have a group. As far as your access settings on payment, let me look at this one. Is that the same list? Let's see, because you do have 133 F4. Yeah. Is that the same, or are they just really similar? No, it's the same. It's the exact same number. So you're basically there. You're putting them all on one list. This should be 2 MailChimp lists, 2 groups. Now you could have 2 lists for the same content. For, let's say this was a subscription and you want them to pay, like this one is, what's the amount? The monthly, and you wanted to offer a yearly option. You could then do this one and offer a yearly option. Looks like you didn't have anything set up there just yet. And they could both be the same group, okay? And they could be the same list if you wanted to, unless for some reason you wanted to separate your contacts into yearly and monthly, which that's why I don't like MailChimp, because you'd probably have to do that to run any automations, like follow up in, after their first month and see how they're doing or whatever. If you wanted to do like a yearly renewal email that goes out or something, MailChimp is kind of weird where you wouldn't let you do that unless you made them 2 different lists, but that's a whole nother conversation. I just want to make sure that everything looks like it's set up the way it should be. Discounts if you have any, which most people don't. That's an optional. So you're good. You're good. All right. Yeah, I would, if you're not married to MailChimp, Shelly, I would recommend ActiveCampaign. Honestly, let me put in my, this is my referral link, full disclosure, but I refer people to them all the time and everyone who uses them is happy. I'm in the middle of like a 7-module course on using ActiveCampaign with 22 Social. I've been working on it since Christmas and it's been really helpful for a lot of my clients too, but let me go ahead and put that in there. I just commented with it. If you're not married to MailChimp, I would recommend. That's who I would recommend. There are other ones that I would recommend too over MailChimp, a lot more than I would recommend over them. But they're either don't do everything that ActiveCampaign does, or they're more expensive, at least in the long run. A lot of places will start you off free or cheap. And then once you get to like over 1,000 people on your list, you're paying more for that than you would have if you'd have gone with some of the other ones. And in the long run, yeah, Lynn, so that's what I was mentioning earlier. Let me answer your question. But yeah, anyway, so check out ActiveCampaign. In the long run, it won't cost you as much. So I'm using StreamYard, so I can actually put that in there too. I have a link for that. People are always asking me, what do you use for this, for that? So I use StreamYard. Let me put that in, StreamYard. I use StreamYard to simultaneously broadcast to the Facebook group that I'm in or the page I'm on. In this case, we're broadcasting to the 22 Social page and the 22 Social YouTube channel. But you can simultaneously broadcast to different places with a StreamYard account. I'm on the bare minimum basic plan. It has everything that I need. Good. I'm glad you're not a fan of MailChimp, Shelly. That's good. But yeah, so then when I set this up, it gives me a YouTube ID number. So for example, let me actually grab that. Will it let me do it while I'm live? Well, I have it written somewhere else. Let me grab it because I have all my notes from today's broadcast. So I'm just copying the YouTube link. Let me show it to you guys. So in YouTube, right now I'm logged in as 22 Social. Oops, let me pause this. So, log in as your channel. I have millions of channels that I work, log in as. And so what you want is the ID number. So usually it'll be right up at the top after the V equals. But if you share your video, it's this link right here is the one you want, the YouTube B. But this G, oops, let me get my cursor off of that. It will not let me come off of it. I think it's just delayed. It's getting angry. That GSXO2USQ, that whole thing at the end here is the same as what's up here after the V equals. So it's either one. That's your YouTube ID number. You want that after the YouTube BE. So if I were to copy that and stick that, let's say in your app here, you know how you have your YouTube video here? Let's stick one on the end where you're not using it. I'm going to pick video, YouTube. And then I'll either paste that ID number, or since I copied the whole link, I'm just going to, the u2.be link, I'm going to paste that in there, but really you just need that at the end. And I hit preview, it will show me this broadcast where I'm live right now. Now, until I go live, it'll just say, well, coming soon, and it'll just show a countdown because I scheduled it in StreamYard. So you could do that. That's how I use StreamYard now for not only my lives in my group on my page, but I do it for one-on-one coaching calls, also to record courses, because you could just go in and just use it as a recording software for recording videos. I really love it. So to answer your question in a long way, yes, we are streaming to YouTube, and we are using, I'm just going to do that just to clear it. And then I'm going to go back over here and just hide it. So the next time you go in, it won't be in there. It'll be just like it was before. That's what I was trying to get it to do. But yeah, after I schedule it in YouTube, it says, great, go check out your new scheduled event on YouTube. And it's going to send me to this page. And until I'm live, it just kind of shows, waiting or whatever. But the link's going to be the same. And the nice thing about that is when this is over, the replay is the same link. So when the live event's over and somebody comes here after the fact, they'll be watching that same link, but now it's just a replayed version of it. And you can change maybe the wording that says, this was recorded on blah, 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 but comment below if you have questions, or here's, maybe put a button to whatever you're selling on this like live event, this live webinar, and a button to your paid option there. Lots of different ideas. Okay, let me come back over to comments and see. Let's see. Ecamm's great. Use Ecamm. You must have a Mac. So I usually tell people, if you don't have a Mac, hands down StreamYard. But I hear great things about Ecamm. I would not recommend BlueJeans, BeLive, or Zoom if you want to do this kind of thing with 22 Social and Facebook. It's either going to cost you too much, or it's too technical, or it's not possible. Ecamm for Mac, and that's only because I've heard great things. Personally, I don't use Ecamm, but from really, really trusted sources that Ecamm is awesome if you have a Mac. If you have a PC, hands down StreamYard, obviously, because we love it. Yeah, it's a little bit different. These are streaming platforms that stream into social content. A lot of them do the same thing, but for example, like BeLive, unless they changed it recently, but a lot of people left because of that. I couldn't be streaming right now without being on camera at the same time. And for like guests, if I was going to interview a guest and they wanted to they're not happy on camera and they don't want to show their face, but they want to be able to talk and present, BeLive wouldn't let you do that. They also don't let you have someone log in with your account. You have to it's tied to the Facebook profile. And so with BeLive, we had to create a whole fake account just to log into it. It was a hassle for a team to be using it. Let's see. Yes, I did put a link. I'll do it again. It's here, I'll put it here. Thank you for asking. So this is a referral link, which means they'll know that I referred you, and so I get a credit or something. All accounts are different, but it's nice. I've referred StreamYard probably 100 times, and no one's ever used my link, including my clients. The other day, my client's like, I finally got StreamYard. And so I was helping her for an hour on it. And I'm like, hey, I don't see you in my referral. Did you use my link? She goes, oh, no, I forgot. I just Googled it. So I'm like, oh, well. So yeah, I refer it all the time, but no one ever uses my link. So if you did, that'd be great. So yeah, StreamYard. You're welcome. Michelle says, I've used Ecamm for the last 3 years and love it. Awesome. Okay, Michelle, see, so everybody I know, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Ecamm. I just, I have a really long story that I'm not going to get into about why I have a love-hate relationship with Apple, but my $1,600 MacBook that I bought in 2009, I think, ended up being basically a $1,600 iPod for me because I couldn't do what I needed to do with it. It wasn't compatible with certain things, and I couldn't take it back to the store without paying $250 restocking fee, and that was 11 years ago, and it's left a really sour taste in my mouth, and I never bought a Mac after that. So nothing to do with Mac or Apple. They're great people, I'm sure, but personal experience, and you know how it is. One thing happens and it ruins you for the rest of your life. That's what happened to me. But yeah, I'm sure if you're an avid Mac user, like Michelle says there, I've heard great things. Andrew loves it. So yeah, Ecamm's cool, or StreamYard. But hands down, definitely if you are, so like I recommend StreamYard for live streaming, for one-on-one sessions, recording videos, all of it all in one. It's a really cool tool. I do trainings on how to use a lot of these tools. Like I said, I have for Active Campaign, I have a 7-module course that I do in my OBSA membership. OBSA is the Online Business Success Academy, where every week I do these live audits in there as well, and one-on-ones and things like that. So, and I'm going to be running a special really soon. Right now I have a deal. I haven't published it yet, but it's only $10 a month if you want to check that out. But I will go in there and I'll do like how to use StreamYard and how to use Active Campaign. And so we have a lot of things on that. But I really whether you use this link or not, just check out Active Campaign. In the long run, it's better than a lot of them. It pretty much does a lot of things that these high-end, like $100, $200 programs do, but at like prices that are comparable to Aweber, ConvertKit, MailChimp, Constant Contact, that kind of thing. And then in the long run, for example, Constant Contact, I think they give you 30 or 60 days free trial, which is great. But when you get to over like 500 or a certain number of contacts, their price is way higher than any other CRM. And it doesn't do a lot of things that these other ones do. MailChimp's free at first, right? And you get into MailChimp, and then you get sucked in, right? I was at a point where I was paying $195 a month for MailChimp, and when I switched over to ConvertKit, my price was $79. I've since switched to $59 or Active Campaign, and I'm actively paying around $50 or $60 a month for the same list I was paying nearly $200 for in MailChimp 6 years ago. So crazy. I used to use OBS before. Yes, OBS, I used that too. Before, when there wasn't any really other options, and it was free, and I'm pretty techie, so I was able to figure it out, but it is techie. If someone's techie, or non-techie, I would not recommend that. You have to kind of set it up. So I usually don't go there, because my clientele is usually people who are like, give me the simplest thing. I want drag and drop, easy, point and click. But yeah, I used to use them too. I believe so. Yeah, go to, I don't know what the direct link is for it, but let me give you another one. That's a good question. Let me see. I'm just going to look it up here in my other window really quick. I want to say, I think this is it. And then we'll just wrap up, because I don't know if I have. Let me see. What does that do? Hold on. Hold on. I'm just looking. All right, so there it is. It is. I got it. Okay. I'm going to paste this in. I just wanted to try it. I have not used this link in so long. This is not a referral link. It's just the one that I remember. Well, I mean, it is, but I don't think I get anything for it. Let me come back over here. Here we go. To answer your question, that will tell you if the program even is still going on. Honestly, I don't know where they are at with it, but there is a link there. Lynn, if you want to check that out. Oh, let me put that back up. There we go. And the reason these are all with my URLs, because that's how I remember them. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember what they are. I just know it's like /StreamYard, /Active Campaign, /MailChimp, like I create one for all of mine, so that when someone asks me, because they get asked all the time, what do you recommend for this? Or can I check out this, or Calendly? And like Calendly doesn't even have an affiliate program. So I refer people to Calendly all the time. I don't get anything for it, but I can remember like the link that tells you where the free trial is, or the FAQs, or whatever that someone new would want to know about. I create redirects with my own domain for all of them, so that I can refer them on a fly and be like, here, go check this out. This is what it's about. Yeah, you are welcome. All right. So kind of went off on a little tangent here, but Lynn, definitely check out the first part. I did go over, you need to you have your SRM set up over here correctly, but you don't have it linked to the actual list like I showed in Shelly's app. So you'll need to do that. And I did actually log into MailChimp and go and show you in one of my clients' accounts. I just used hers, where to find your list ID. So definitely check out the beginning of this video. It'll walk you through how to do that. I think that's it. I ran really over. But that's what happens when I'm left to play by myself and I don't have anyone checking me all the time. But we're all stuck at home anyway, right? Coronavirus. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys and you found it interesting. Yeah, I use Calendly. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. I've been using them for a long time. Yep. You guys are welcome. All right. So we're done with the audits, but if you guys want to do these a little more often, let me know. Maybe we could put out a schedule. Yes, Michelle, very smart. Do that with Bitly. And then you can track it. You can track like which ones are doing really well and doing all of that too. But awesome. Yeah, you can create all kinds of little shorteners. As a matter of fact, I have a whole tutorial in my membership on how to use link shorteners and which ones I recommend and how to track your, like, if there's something I do regularly in my business, I teach other people how to do it, right? That's my thing. That's what I do. So everybody's got their thing, but whatever your thing is, and you want to use 22 Social for it, you're new to it, or you're just checking it out. Like, is this for me? How does it work? It's pretty simple. You only need a Facebook business page. You don't even have to have a website or anything to create these landing pages, which I like that because a Facebook page is free. A Facebook page is easy to set up and make your own. It doesn't cost you anything. It's indexed by the search engines. It's a public page. A lot of people use that like as their online hub in place of a website sometimes, or in addition to it. You don't have to have it in place of it. But you can then, with 22 Social, sync your Facebook business page to your 22 Social account, up to 3 pages on the standard plan. So if you have more than one business, you could do 3, and you connect that. And then you can create these custom landing pages for things like Lynn and her webinar, and Shelly and her mastermind coaching program, and paid Facebook group and things like that. Whatever it is that your thing that you're selling is, you can create these pages. They come with a smart link that once you share them, it sends people. It looks like just a regular web page, as if you created it with your website, but it's based on an application that's tied to your Facebook business page. And so you can link to it on your business page. You can share it on Facebook, but you don't have to. You can have it be its own standalone thing. You can send a little link in text. You can send it everywhere. But I do recommend, sharing it on Facebook. It does require that they log in with Facebook to use it or register. So if you're already sharing it and talking about it on Facebook, sending it through Messenger, putting it in Facebook groups, adding it to the call to action button, at the top of your page, then you already know when the people find your link or click on it, they got it from Facebook. So they're already in Facebook. And then that's, one stone overturned already. So you can create different types of pages. When you first install them, they look pretty blank, but we saw a couple examples today where I did some audits and how people made it their own with their own custom branding and colors and images and things like that. Once installed, it's connected to your business pages. And you'll be able to customize how it looks, different text, videos, images, widgets, countdown timers, embed forms, leave little review sections, or have a scrolling link to your latest posts on social media and things like that, all kinds of stuff. There's lots of widgets that interlocked, and everything is mobile ready. So that smart link that gets given to you with each app, when you share that and someone's on mobile and they click on it, like they're scrolling through their newsfeed in their hand on their phone, when they get there, it'll be a nice little compact page right there on their phone. Use it to create whatever you want for each business page. And on the standard plan, you get up to 3 pages. You can create 15 of these custom apps. So 15 per page. If you need that many, if you have 3 pages, you'd be able to create 45. Most people don't need that many, but Facebook allows us to install up to 15 per page. You can create informational pages that are ungated, meaning they don't have to register to see the content. They can just see what you're all about, or protect it. And you can protect it with a registration. So free, it's gated, it's free, but it's gated, meaning they have to register to get your free thing, join your free group, watch your free, enroll for your free seminar or online webinar or something, or get your free PDF, or if you want to do a contest, those things don't cost money. Or you can sell something like pay me this amount of money and then you get this, and you can sell an online course, or you can sell your time, like an hour session or something like that. And then you link to your Calendly or Acuity or whatever on the other side, and they book a call with you, but they've already paid you before they get to that point. So you gate it with a payment. Or like a lot of people use it to do recurring payments. So you pay not just a one-time payment, but every month you're paying $10 or $97 or whatever the cost of your membership is. And it's being paid recurringly. They pay through the app. It gets synced either with Stripe or PayPal, and then the money goes into either your Stripe or PayPal account, whichever one you choose, and they automatically get billed every month. And so what I like is this connects to like your Facebook group and lets you know who's paid and who hasn't. You can do contests and have referral links and have people share, and it tracks like who's shared it how many times. You can reward people for that. You can do affiliates and pay commissions. There's lots of things you could do. All in one, right? Which is what I really like about it. And it's all with the Facebook login. So nobody's getting a username or password they have to remember, or they can share with their downlines or their teams. When they want access to the thing they registered or bought or they're paying for, they have to do it with their Facebook profile. People aren't going to share that. So it makes it really secure for people not to be letting in people who shouldn't have access, right? Aren't paid or aren't registered. When you share that smart link, here's kind of an overview look of what that looks like. In this example, we're seeing what it looks like when that gets shared on Facebook in the news feed or in somebody's group, or this is what it looks like. What I did earlier when I shared the 2 reviews I did, that little image that pops up, this is what gets shared whenever you do that. So when someone sees that as they're scrolling through and it catches their attention, they click on that post, they're going to go to your app. If it's gated, they're going to see the gate side that tells them, here's what you need to do to get access to, here's what I'm giving you, and you explain to them what you can help them with, and all they have to do is click the button. Now, when they click the button, they're using their Facebook profile to confirm who they are. It'll show this is who they are on Facebook. It automatically pre-fills their email, whatever they use on Facebook. They could change that if you want. I usually like to say, please give us your best email. I'll put that in the custom message at the top so they can change it if they need to. If you connect to, for example, in today's example, we had 2 people who were using MailChimp as their CRM. So once you connect that on the back end, when they get to this point, whatever email they put here gets added to that list you've connected in your CRM, in MailChimp or whatever you use. They agree to the terms and services and they click continue. So they're entering what they do, provide an email, but what they're doing is saying, this is who I am on Facebook. And it's the Facebook profile that now has access. Whenever they're logged into Facebook now and they come back to this page, they're always going to see the side that has all of the content. This is what the registered members get to see, or paid members get to see. And that's where you could say, hey, thanks for checking this out. Here's your next steps. Here's what you do. Here's the link to the Facebook group, or here's that thing you just bought. You can download it, or here's the button to book our next call since they just paid for it. So whatever they've gained access to, they now see. And anyone else that comes to this page, if they share that link with other people, they're going to see the other side because they haven't paid. So I really love that. Now, your end, you're capturing their profile. It has their name, their email, who they are on Facebook. It captures location, date of birth, things like that. And you have that in your back office, the SRM, the Social Relationship Manager tab. And in there is everyone who's gone through your gate, who's registered through the app, your landing page, or whatever you want to call it. When they registered and say, yes, that's me, and hit continue, they end up on this list. And for memberships, this is really handy, especially if the PayPal account they use to pay that's connected to this app, that's connected to your Facebook group, the name on there is not the same as the name on Facebook, or the emails don't match. This syncs the two. So it makes it really handy. And there's lots of cool tools that we have been releasing over the last few months that really sync your payments side of things with your group side of things, so that you know who's a member, who should I let in, who should I not. But you can click on the little P icon here if you're using PayPal, and it takes you right to their profile. So I think that's pretty awesome. That's been a time saver for me. Like I said, we've added a bunch of different things. Renee built out this awesome Chrome extension that's really cool. If you haven't checked that out, definitely do so. We released that in October. last year. So if you missed that, let me know, comment. I will put the link to where you can watch the recap of how that works. But basically, you install this free Chrome extension. You have to have Chrome, and it's on a Chrome browser, desktop only, as most extensions are. And you set up all these different settings in there and pick your colors. And what it does is it syncs your group on Facebook to your app, your 22 Social app, and based on whatever 3 colors you choose for active, inactive, or not found, it will tell you who needs to be removed from the group because they've stopped paying, who is a paying member and should be able to stay in, or when someone requests to join, their name will be a certain color based on whether they've already paid and registered and should I let them in. Works on free or paid apps. So even if you have a free group and you want them to go register first through your app, when they request to join your group, it'll show the color of, let's say you would designate green, because you can pick any colors you want. But in this example, green means active. If their name's green, you can rest assured you don't have to go check, did they register? Are they in my MailChimp? Do I have to check my PayPal? Did they pay me? Let me look in my inbox. Did I get a notification? Is this person registered? That color will tell you right away. You can always double check later, but this makes it super handy. So lots of cool things like this that we're continuing to add and develop and try to make it a lot easier for you to run your business on line, on social, using 22 Social without spending too much time or money on all these extra things, making it a lot easier for you to really serve the people that you're here to serve. So with that blueprint I talked about earlier and these kinds of tools here that we've been announcing, you could see results like a lot of our members have. For example, this one we like to always showcase here. Well, Irish, this is what it looks like with just one of his subscription products. In the morning when he looks in his phone, he's getting messages like this constantly, that he has a new payment, a new recurring payment. And I'm sure a lot of people would love to see this. I love seeing these too. So 22 Social really wants to make this, it makes it possible. We really want to make it a lot easier for you. And so that's what we're here for. And that's why we created these tools and why they're here for you. So we'd love for you to take advantage of that. If you have not yet signed up for 22 Social or even considered, what it's all about or looked at some of the plans, start first with our assessment, because it'll give you everything there. But a lot of people wonder, like, I don't know what to do first or, what I need help with. So we created a Dream Builder self-assessment that you could take at 22s.com/dream. And this is really cool because it'll tell you, depending on where you are in the phase of your business, right? What your journey, your entrepreneurial journey, are you in the learn, earn, or scale phase? You answer some questions, it'll tell you where you are. It's a free assessment, and it will give you a customized action plan based on those answers. So based on wherever you are. So check that out at 22s.com/dream. That would be my first thing to tell you. That's the first step you should do. That's where you'll learn all about 22 Social, what they offer, pricing and all of that. And right now we're offering not just their platform, but a bundle that gives you the Dream Builder Blueprint course. That is a course on all of these little topics that we've kind of brushed over at the beginning, from creating your offers to nurturing, inviting, delivering, building your dream, all of those different steps in a blueprint course that comes with a year of 22 Social software, which you could use for memberships, for pretty much everything we covered today and then some. So you get that. It's the bundle. It's an annual account for up to 3 pages. All the features, unlimited members, plus the course, so that you can earn while you're learning and you don't have to do those two separately. So check that out, 22s.com/dream. There you can also figure out, what your referral link is if you want to share this with other people, because we do a weekly contest. Every week we give this away for free. So, and if you already have it, we give you an extra year of it for free. So what I want to do now is pull up this week's winner so we can all congratulate her. It's Mary Trotner. Woo! Congratulations, Mary. You have just won our weekly prize giveaway of the Dream Builder course and a year of 22 Social on us. So check out, message our page up at the top, 22 Social's Facebook page. m.me/22 Social will also get you there. Message us, say, hey, I'm this week's winner, and we will get you all hooked up with all the details. So I really did go over, hope Renee doesn't kill me, but I will take one last peek at questions. However, if I missed anything or you think of something later, you're watching the replay, ask in the group. If you go to 22s.com/dream, you'll also find the link to our group in there as well. And it's a free group, the Dream Builders group. So check that out. Let's see. Form in the community add for potential clients to fill. Yes. So, yeah, Lynn, I think you're just asking about the certification. Yeah, fill that out, and someone will probably be in contact with you. They will be in contact with you. But if that form is still live there, then that means they're still taking them. But I'm not seeing anything else. Oh, can I add forms? Yes, you can add forms. Definitely add forms. I don't know if you're an OBSA member. I have a course in there on how to set up a coaching app with a form built in so that you can like ask questions before they meet with you, like before the call, but after they've paid you. But yeah, you can embed all kinds of forms. Google Forms is probably what I would recommend, but good question. I think that was all of them. Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I actually did have some extra slides in case we didn't have anyone on, but since we've gone over, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.